Good day, everybody. Welcome to HTMX. This is Chapter 1, Introduction to HTMX. So obviously we followed along in the book, so I'm going to show you my source code and things I changed, and then I'm going to obviously go back here and read some stuff that's probably not in my code because I didn't see a need to add it. So firstly we have our HTML. Introduction to HTMX. So basically, HTMX is a small JavaScript library that allows us to create dynamic front ends without having to write any JavaScript at all. We can do this using special attributes in our HTML called hyperscript attributes. So the way I see it is this is just HTMX is more advanced HTML, like an upgrade, I guess. For example, all these HX elements are, just HTMX. So here we have our basic HTML page. We give it a name. Mine's just document the default one. We still have our links and stuff. So here we're creating a class. So we're just centering the text. And then we have our fonts and our headings. So hello world, welcome to my website. Again, paragraph tags. Simple request example. It will just be like the name of the web page. And here we create our button class. Button type, button class is a button glow on hover. I will get into this in a second, hence the CSS. Okay, now users, this hx get users is basically getting information on a user class. We can find that in the JavaScript, but I can also show you in the web page, which I will rather do because that's there. Then we've got the confirm. This is just a pop-up asking if we want to fetch the users. Outer HTML, this just hides all the outer HTML. And then we've got click, which is the button. So like in the introduction said, this is just creating a web page without having to use JavaScript. So, we're going to click the button to get us all the information. This is actually fetching the users and then asking us if we want to proceed. The limit it's fetching is 10 users, and then it's going to give us a loading indicator, like those swirly things you see. I'll show you in a minute, but basically it's like a loading icon. And then again we have another class. So this is for the loading. This is a HTMX indicator spinner. It's basically the border. And then we just have some sources and stuff. And then obviously at the top here we linked our style sheet. So here's our JSON package. We just had to add in our Node-min server JS. And then in our server JavaScript, you see we're importing Express from Express. Obviously we had to do a bunch of downloads and stuff. So what we added in here was a handle get request to fetch users. So this is what I was talking about. I will show you all the users and what it looks like. But this is basically fetching the users. Comes from here. No, sorry. This one, sorry. But yeah. So this is just basically fetching it. And then in our CSS, again, it's just styling. I don't need to go over this, but basically what I did here is after like making the font bigger, giving it some color, and doing like when you hover over the button, it like does this gradient effect on glowing. So now I will take you to the web page. Here, as you can see. So let me just refresh. So here we have our hello world. Welcome to my website. Simple request. Fetch some stuff. As you can see, I'm hovering over it and it's doing a gradient effect. I click on it. You can see it freezes when I click on it because here it's saying localhost 3000 says, do you want to proceed with fetching users? We're going to click OK. And there's that little loading icon. Here's our users. Again, the gradient just stays there. I thought this was pretty cool. But anyway, these are the users that it fetches. And then if we scroll through our book quickly. So we have HX swap. This controls how content will swap in the outer HTML, the before end, and the after end. We've got targets. I don't think that was in there. Was it? Oh, we do here. Targets. Um, Basically what that does is it specifies the target element to be swapped. HX trigger specifies the event that triggers the request. Um, Actually, I'm just going to go through all of them here. So HX get issues a get to the specified URL. HX post issues a post to the specified URL. HX on with little star. I forgot what it's called now, but it's fine. Handle events with inline scripts on elements. We have our push URL, which will push URL onto the browser location bar to create history. We've got the HX select, which will select content to swap in from a response. Now, obviously, there are delete attributes as well. So we've got boost, which will add progressive enhancement for links and forms, a confirm, which will show a confirm. So basically, like that pop-up that came here, and we clicked OK, that's kind of like a confirm. And then we've obviously got the delete. And then we've got patch, which will issue a patch to the specified URL. We've got preserve, which specifies elements to keep unchanged between requests. Prompt shows a prompt for the missing request. Again, that what popped up was a prompt. But the confirm, I made the relation as in when we're clicking OK. We've got HX put, which issues a put to the specified URL. Yeah, so that is our chapter 1 of HTMX. Obviously, we just followed through the book. But yeah, this is what it looks like. Obviously, before the CSS and the centering and stuff, everything was on the side. Centering it made this, changing the words as well, like the color. And then obviously this, which I still find pretty cool. But anyway, this is chapter 1 of HTMX. Thank you for watching.